Hey Hunters, Halozu here for another One D&D video, looking at the two versions of various subclasses. So today we're going on to the priests with the cleric. Uh, oh, this is Playtest 6. This is the first one. Okay, close all this crap. I don't need it. But anyway, so the cleric is a class that honestly doesn't need much changing in base 5e, and if anything, needs a few nerfs in the form of several of their spells getting hit with a little bit of a hammer because they're kind of overtuned. With one of the big ones being Spiritual Weapon, which was actually nerfed in this version. Deservedly so. That one should always have had concentration, but oh well. But for the actual class stuff here, what changed? So, first level, you get Channel Divinity now. It was originally at second level, but now you have it at first. So you also have the new Divine Spark added. So as a magic action, hit something 30 feet, and roll Prof D8 and add them. And you either restore HP or the target has to make a con save or take radiant damage, half on a success. So it's definitely a nice new addition. Not the biggest fan of the Prof D8, but hey, it works fine and it scales pretty well, especially compared to cantrips, since this is an encounter-based resource. So this works fine. Spells, spellcasting works the same. Except in this version, you got all the paladin spells, which was maybe a bit too good. Second level, we have Holy Orders. So there are three options here, and it's kind of sort of taken from Pathfinder 2e, except you have three options instead of two, but they're kind of similar. But as I'll mention, it's not really three options. So you've got Protector, which is the martial weapons and heavy armor. The Scholar, which is you get skill proficiencies, and add your wisdom to them. And you have the Thaumaturge, which has an extra cantrip. And you get a use of Channel Divinity with a short rest, because they also changed Channel Divinity to be a long rest only recharge, with prof uses per day, which... Oh, I hate it. I really hate it. Especially the whole, like, it's per day now, where there was this stupid idea that, oh, instead of making short rests shorter and letting you fit them more easily into an adventuring day, instead we're going to make all those resources long rest based. So yeah, for this one, it kind of sucks, because sure, you can use multiple Channel Divinities in one encounter, but it's now limited per day instead of short rests, which was so much better. But the Thaumaturge gives you short rest Channel Divinities back. Yay. Third level Cleric subclass. I hate this. Where it's like, oh, instead of doing it the opposite way, you've consolidated it the worst way possible. And it's like, oh yeah, now on every class, first and second level sucks. And you've doubled down on what made it suck so much. All that's left now is for you to have randomized HP at first level, because that would be fun, right? Ugh. I hate subclasses at third level. It's the whole reason I made D&D 5.5. I really wish they went the other way with this. First level subclasses for everyone would be so much better. Like, unbelievably better. But, well. They also lost their high level features. Yay. That's fun. They also lose their proficiencies and extra cantrips and all that, but it's moved to Holy Order, which I honestly like more. Though I will give it the caveat that the Thaumaturge ability for extra cantrips, sometimes you would really like something that's not on the divine list. Prime examples being Nature Domain. Arcana Domain would probably want a different one for certain. And then, of course, like Tempest Domain would also probably want something else. So this, that's like one thing I'd say is significantly worse, where it's no longer tied to the subclass, so I can't get one that fits the subclass better, and specifically my character better, as it's not tied to it, so I lose some flavor there. But overall, I do like the idea that, oh, do I want to be a war priest or do I want to be a thaumaturge? I can choose between the two. 5th level Smite Undead is replacing Destroy Undead, and basically when you turn undead, roll Prof D8. That's the radiant damage dealt. So yeah, I think it's fine. Like, oh hey, you get to Divine Spark damage when you turn undead. Makes sense. More useful than Destroy Undead, because usually at higher levels you stop kind of facing a bunch of the low-level ones. So being able to just do damage to any undead, even if they're on level, is much better. I like this more. 7th level is Blessed Strikes returning. You also got a subclass feature at 6th. So Blessed Strikes is basically just baseline. You don't get Divine Strike or Potent Cantrip anymore. You just get Blessed Strikes, which, fine. Though it still has the problem of just being Radiant. So, yeah. Not a fan. This, it's nice if you want to mix and match, but it does its job. It's just the other two were more flavorful and thematic to my build. 9th level, you get a 2nd Holy Order, aka you're probably taking Scholar, because heaven knows you weren't taking it first, 2nd level. It's fine, but not amazing. Especially because the 9th level, you're probably taking Scholar because you took Thaumaturge or War Priest at first, or 2nd. 11th level, Divine Intervention. Still has the randomized days. You can't use it, but random chance to happen still. And any Divine Spell effect is fine. Not much change there, I think. 18th, Greater Divine Intervention. It's automatically succeeding. Whoop-de-doo. 14th is when you got your capstone, though, so yeah, it's... At the end, it's kind of meh, but it's a caster, so what do you expect? So, let's go to Playtest 6. So, first and foremost, the Channel Divinity got changed up a bit, so instead of being prof bonus, it's now tied to your class level. As they noted, it was a bit too good that you could just dip into Cleric, get Channel Divinity, and suddenly you'd have max uses. So here it's tied to the class instead of prof bonus, so it's specific to your class progression, so you don't get more unless you dedicate more levels into the class. So, fixed some multi-classing issues there. But of course, Divine Order is at 1st level, so you get the Holy Order at the start, which I like a lot more. Especially because it's basically kind of a subclass at 1st level, which is something I love having. It's like, yes, let me choose this at 1st level so I can start the game with it. Thank you. I like this. This is how it should be. But you get Protector, which is the same as it was. Thaumaturge now, though, you only get the cantrip, but you also get the Wisdom to Religion checks from Scholars, which, perfect. This is good. So, and Scholar, nowhere to be seen. Screw it. Don't care about it. Spellcasting is spellcasting. Doesn't matter. Except for the fact that your spells prepared is now a set number, rather than being based on level and your wisdom. It's just a set number, which it's fine. I don't mind it too much. Though I would like if spells prepared was lower than spells known classes, just to kind of differentiate the two better. Second level, you get Channel Divinity, so you got moved back to second. But now Divine Spark is 1d8 plus Wisdom. So instead of Prof d8, it's just d8 plus Wiz. And it's necrotic or radiant damage that you deal. Nice. And it upgrades at 7th, 13th, and 18th. What the hell, wizards? Why? Just what? These upgrade after cantrips do? What the heck? Just use cantrip scaling, please. Like, if it was 2 dice and add, then it would be fine, but this always baffles me, where it's like, okay, what? Just make it scale as a cantrip. If it's gonna scale 3 times, make it keep pace with cantrips. Especially because it's like with a cantrip, it's like, oh, for a level or 2 in the case, or 3, I do less damage. I roll less dice with Divine Spark than a cantrip. That's just weird as heck. Please change this to be cantrip scaling. Like, it would be so much better. Turn Undead. Turn Undead. Cleric subclass. I still hate this. Smite Undead. It's Wiz D8 now, so it actually cares about your stat. And it's specified in the turn. And it's Radiant only, but that's what you were doing anyway, let's be honest. Blessed Strikes is not Blessed Strikes anymore. It is either Divine Strike or Potent Spellcasting. And Divine Strike can now be necrotic or radiant damage. I still wish this had a caveat clause where it's like, oh, certain subclasses can change it. So, like, Tempest Domain can still get lightning or thunder, etc., etc. Just like I still wish they had ways of getting alternate spells with Thaumaturge if you have certain domains, just so you get one that fits your character. You don't get a feature at 8th level from your subclass, which is, it's one of the few that doesn't have that, but it's due to the change to how Blessed Strikes works that it's been changed. So they're one of the few that actually has changes to how their subclasses work, which would be nice if they applied that of, screw it, it's not 1-to-1 compatible to Bard and Rogue, because, well, Bard could use another subclass feature, and Rogue could use their second feature, like, at least 2 levels earlier than frickin' 9th. But at 9th for Clerics, Commune. You just have Commune prepared all the time. Boom. While it is a spell as a feature, I do actually like this, where, yeah, you can talk with your deity freely. Yes, I'm fine with this. So it's a nice one, where it's like, yeah, I can talk with my deity. Why wasn't this a default thing before? I don't know, but I like this being default. And, well, like, some people are like, spell is a feature. Oh, that kind of sucks. In this case, I'm like, okay, the flavor wins out here. It's it makes sense that you would have this. So we're just giving it to you for free. Then, the next level, you get Divine Intervention. And it now automatically works. So, as an action, cast any divine spell 5th level or lower that doesn't require a reaction, and you cast it. Ignoring material components is a bit crazy, and you do this once per day, where it's like, yeah, I don't think you should be able to ignore material components entirely, mostly because you can, and my thing is, it should be halved, where, or it just doesn't consume the material component if it would normally be consumed, where it's like, yeah, you have the material component, a material component. You can't cast it for free, but you can raise dead for less, basically. So you get a discounted raise dead, which I think is fine. But a free raise dead, that is playing with fire wizards. That's probably too good. 14th level, improved Blessed Strikes, Divine Strike upgrades, or potent spellcasting upgrades to give temporary hit points, equal to twice your wisdom modifier, which I like. This one I really like. It's kind of cool. It's neat. It fits with what clerics normally do. Perfect. 17th level subclass feature, and 20th, Greater Divine Intervention. You get to cast Wish with Divine Intervention. And this ignores the casting stress of Wish. But you don't get it for 2d4 long rests. So, yeah. Yeah, it's cool. This is another cool capstone feature of, yeah, you just get to cast Wish from your deity. It's like, call the deity, hey, I need a wish granted. Thank you. So now let's go to the subclass, which is, of course, the life domain. So there are a few changes to note. For example, the Channel Divinities, I think, got moved way back. There's 6th level in this one. But going to the first version, so on the spell list, you don't have 1st level spells anymore. Absolutely hate this. Just massively, no. Not a fan. Because, like, yeah, I have 2 spells that I normally got, and I don't have them anymore. Which, for other builds in particular, could be even worse, where it's like, oh, so I don't get my Thunderwave on Tempest Domain, when that was a really nice spell to have. Yeah, it is what it is. Prayer of Healing being on this list is actually nice, instead of Spiritual Weapon, because why the heck did you have Spiritual Weapon? Like, what? Also, Good Riddance, Guardian of Faith. Nobody liked you. It's a useless spell. Might as well not exist, because it sucks so much. Yeah, it's a spell that also needs to be updated badly. But everything else, it fits. Like, you've got healing and support spells for all your domain spells. Perfect. And they don't have a free cast of domain spells. Other classes do, but, or got them, but they don't. I'm going to pause for a moment to do something. Okay, sorry, I had to reply to a comment. Anyway, so yeah, Disciple of Life, still Disciple of Life, it's what it is. However, they did specify that, it only heals more when you cast the spell, thus, you cannot cheese the heck out of this with, good berries, which, perfectly fair in my opinion. It comes off as kind of silly that you could actually buff good berries a bunch with this. So yeah, this is fine. 6th level, Preserve Life, way later than it should be. Also replacing their previous 6th level feature. Which I don't remember. I think Blessed Healer was their. Yeah, I don't remember what all they had. I'm gonna have to look that up now. Dang it. Okay, silly me. I forgot that they don't have a 3rd class feature. They have the Divine Strike and then Final. So yeah, it's Blessed Healer's been moved back. So whenever you cast a healing spell slot, regain HP, equal to Disciple Life benefit. And then Supreme Healing's maxed. Not much changed, it's just stuff has been delayed, so Preserve Life, Blessed Healer moved back. Supreme Healer, meanwhile, is moved way up. And it's kind of crazy that it's moved way up. Because this is a very powerful thing for 17th level. It's very crazy at 14th. It's, yeah. Maxed out healing is very good. It's nice to have it earlier, but it's also, you have this earlier. Yeah. So overall, it's solid, if a bit sad that stuff got really delayed. So you get Preserve Life 4 levels later. Disciple of Life is 2. Blessed Healer, I think, is actually a bit earlier, but Supreme Healing is way earlier. So stuff's moved around, but that's just the way the standardized progression works. But it's a 6. Disciple of Life is Disciple of Life. You get 1st level spells back, though I think there were a few changes. So you get Bless and Cure Wounds, and then Aid and Lesser Restoration. So Prayer of Healing got changed over to Aid. Kind of sad, but hey, you could get it anyway. It doesn't really matter in the end, because you might as well take it anyway. It's all on the Cleric list. Nothing else changed. So it's basically, it is what it was. Like, it's just an improved version of the previous one, which the previous one was already solid. It's just you lost 1st level spells, which absolutely sucked. So here, you get them back. You still need a spiritual weapon, but honestly, good riddance. It made no sense that Life Domain would have it. Because, like, you're devoted to preserving life and stuff. So why do you have that? Preserve Life, though, is entirely changed. So, Preserve Life is easily the most misused channel divinity I've ever seen. I feel like every time someone has used a life cleric, they've gotten it wrong. Because it's up to half their maximum HP. So, yeah. It's good, but people misuse it so often. Yeah. Not surprised it got changed. I honestly wouldn't mind if they gave them the Peace Domain channel divinity instead. Where it's like, yeah, you're the master healer. Boom, you get it. But this one, instead, you just get to expend channel divinities equal to spell's level to use a abjuration spell of that level. Yeah, it's boring, but it works, you know? And this is a way of getting, like, once per encounter, you get an abjuration spell. Because they also brought back that you get, I'm pretty sure at least you always got a channel divinity back with a short rest. Yeah, you regain 1 use with a short rest, which I'm perfectly fine with. It's just sometimes you can use 2 in an encounter, which perfect. So the new Preserve Life. Honestly, I don't mind either. Neither is particularly special. This is nice. Because, like, yeah, I can easily cast 1st level spells. Boom. More ways to heal that are actually easy to use. And I probably prefer this one to the old one, just because it's harder to misuse this. Blessed Healer, it's moved up from 10th, so perfect. And then Supreme Healing is all the way at 17th, so yeah. It's fine. It's probably better this way, because getting it at 14th can be absolutely nuts. But anyway, that has been the Cleric in the Life Domain from One D&D. So don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos on One D&D and all sorts of other stuff. We'll see what happens. But without further ado, I'll see y'all next time. Halo Zoo out.